Well, hi, how are you guys today? Well, we've got our last holiday project of the season now available on our website. And we have it available as a pattern, as a kit, a couple different kits. I've got options. I love to give you guys options. Okay, so here's what they look like. Isn't this just so much fun? This little felted snow globe. Now you can put it in this frame or you can do whatever you want with it. You could make it into a pillow, quilt blocks, table runners, all the things. And you can buy either just the pattern or you can get the felt kit or you can get the felt and the frame kit. We have lots of options available for you. And today I'm going to take you through step by step on how to put this all together, how to do the blanket stitching on your sewing machine. We're going to talk about applique, a little bit of embroidery, all the things that you need to know. I'm even going to show you how to put it in the frame yourself. And you can paint the frame whatever color you want. We have some options available, like I'm just showing, different colors that you can do, but we have 4 felt kits. We've got the sleigh, the penguin, I've shown the gingerbread house, and of course, you have to have a snowman in a snow globe. So these are the 4 that are available. You can buy 1, you can buy 2, or all 4, whatever you want. And I'm going to take you through step by step here how to put them all together. All right, so to get started, I'm using my Caterpillar Glow Mini light board so I can see the pattern through the steam seam, and I'm just simply tracing the pieces. So you don't have to cut it all out of the paper pattern that you printed. Just go ahead and trace right onto the paper side of your steam seam. And I'm going to trace all of the pieces, and then I'm going to cut them out individually and apply them to my felt. So for this part, you don't need to be super precise. I'm just going to cut around the edges, but you don't need to follow the lines exactly here. You can if you want to. I am for the snow globe, but for all the other pieces, I'm just going to cut out around them. You really need to be more precise when you are cutting out the pieces after they've been adhered to your felt. Just cut around the pieces, and these are both green, so I'm not going to cut the 2 trees apart. And just cut out the pieces based on what color you're going to attach them to. These are all my white pieces, so I'm just going to leave them together here, and then I'll cut them out individually once I apply them to my felt. Now you can just peel off that paper backing and adhere it to the back of your felt, and then go ahead and follow the manufacturer's directions and apply with an iron to permanently adhere them. Once you press with your iron, they are permanently in place, but you can still sew around them, which is what makes steam seam so great. So go ahead and start cutting out your pieces after you had adhered all of them with your iron. Now this is when you want to be a little bit more precise and make sure you're following around the lines and making it nice and neat and looking just like the pattern pieces. Go ahead and continue this process until you have cut out all of your pieces around the trace line. Once you have everything cut out, then you're going to remove the paper backing, and the back side of your steam seam is going to be tacky here because we still have to adhere this to your backing. So first step is to apply the steam seam to your felt, and now we're going to apply them together. And so basically we're going to be building this. So I like to start with the snow globe on my back fabric and put the 2 pieces where you want them. The nice thing is it's adjustable before you iron it. So you can pick it up, move things around as you need to. So make sure you're happy with your placement. Once you are, then you can either fuse the snow globe in place or you can build up the rest of your pieces and fuse it all together. The nice thing about the steam seam is the tack, and that you can pick things up and move them around, but they'll stay in place where you want them. They don't slide around on you. So you could fuse this all together all at once, however you want to do it. I'm going to take mine over to the ironing board now, and I'm going to fuse this all down at once. Once everything is fused, now you get to do all of your stitching. So I am using an applique foot on my Janome Memory Craft sewing machine here. And I am going to do a blanket stitch around the globe, the base of the globe, and the snow. I'm going to start with those pieces, and then I'll decide
what parts I want to do by machine and what parts I want to do by hand. Now, with an applique foot, you can easily go around curves and corners. I absolutely love using this foot, but you don't need one to do this. It just makes it easier. You can use an open toe foot or a clear foot to do machine applique however you want to, with a blanket stitch, zigzag stitch, whatever stitch you prefer to use. I like to also change out my colors as I go around. So right now I'm using an aqua blue around the globe, and then I'll use white on the snow and gray on the base. And then I'll use coordinating colors around the snowman and the trees. Here you can see how that machine blanket stitch looks around the edge. It's so nice. This is one of my favorite stitches to use. Once I'm done with all of my machine applique, then I will bring it over to my embroidery stand, put it in an embroidery hoop, and I will add small details such as French knots for the ornaments on the trees. I added bows on all of the presents by using a lazy daisy stitch. I use a straight stitch to just add some other detail. You can also add things like beads and sequins. You can do as much or as little as you want here. Hand embroidery adds some really great details, but it's not necessary. You don't have to do this. There is a guide in each of the patterns with some of the basic embroidery stitches that I've used. I also have other videos on embroidery stitches right here on my YouTube channel, so you can take a look if you want to learn more about that. But otherwise, also remember, beads look great, sequins look great, sparkle paste. There's so many things you can add to add those fun little details when you're all done here. You don't have to do the embroidery if you don't want to, but you certainly can. Give it a try. These are really basic, simple stitches that anybody can do. Now, if you're going to frame yours in one of our DIY wood kit frames, here's what I would do. Finish your frame first. So you just need to paint your frame front. Then I would put the insert in the back, trace around the outside edge like I'm doing right here. And this is so you know where to cut off this excess fabric, because you don't want the excess fabric sticking out because it gets a little bit bulky in there. So we're going to trim that off, and this easily marks where we need to trim it. So go ahead and just pop that out. And I'm going to add a little bit of temporary basting spray here just to hold it in place. I've got a nice indent where the backer already was, so I'm just going to spray a little bit of the basting spray. This is just a sewing basting spray. You don't need anything fancy here. It's just to kind of hold things in place. So go ahead and then put your center back in the same spot. And you could either trim before you do this part or before or after. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to use my scissors, and I'm going to trim right along that blue line that I drew with my marker. You want to make sure to get all of that excess trimmed off. You don't want it sticking out the other side, because now we're going to put the frame back on the front. In this one, I used a dark wood wax to give it a stained look. Otherwise, you can paint it as well. So I'm just going to press that into place, make sure it's positioned the way I want it. And then I'm going to just line it up with the backer. I'm going to use a quick drying wood super glue. And I'm going to glue the two pieces together, and then it's ready to hang on the wall. The glue I'm using is DAP. It's a wood super glue, and it dries in about 30 seconds. You may want to use some clamps to hold it down if you do have any excess felt on the backside, but you shouldn't see any gaps in your frame. And then there's already the cutout on the back, so it's ready to hang on your wall when you're all done. And here they all are, each one in its own frame. They are just so fun and so cute and easy to gift and give, or just hang on your wall, whichever you want to do.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed learning how to make these. And keep in mind, if we do sell out of the kits, we do have patterns available on our website, and it does tell you where you can get all the supplies that you need, and you can pick things up and make these all winter long. Many of them are winter friendly. They don't have to be just for Christmas. And if you haven't done it already, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the amazing content that we have
that's going to be coming your way very soon. We've got some fun things planned for the end of this year and heading into the new year.